Yes, she is back. Reese Witherspoon just announced with Prime Video the new show called Elle. This series will take us on a journey back to Elle Woods' high school days before she became the most famous Gemini vegetarian to graduate from Harvard Law. We can't wait to get to know her better.
Did you know that Blake Lively came close to joining a Legally Blonde project? That's right. The Blake Lively, known as a style powerhouse, online favorite, and someone who proudly dives deep into scripts, was apparently in preliminary discussions for the third chapter of this beloved series. Not in some minor spot, but as a sharp, glamorous opponent to Elle Woods, a polished villain designed to challenge Elle verbally before showing a hidden vulnerable layer. At first glance, it seemed like pure box office magic, a chic clash between two prominent blondes in the business, radiating that high-shine vibe that markets itself effortlessly. Yet off-camera, the atmosphere shifted from playful bend and snap to outright scheming and betrayal. Sources close to the matter claim the issues started long before any deal was finalized because, honestly, nothing was signed with Blake. Still, she was already flooding writers' emails with suggestions that started ambitious but quickly turned overwhelmingly focused on her own interests. During early planning, she reportedly proposed tweaks to her character that ballooned its importance, insisted on more elaborate, attention-grabbing moments, and advocated for storyline shifts that repositioned her not as a mere counterpart, but as the core emotional and thematic driver. This risked completely reorienting the whole production around her vision. I stand by this project. That's why I'm pushing for it, and that's not me being problematic. There are times when I wonder, am I even heard in these discussions? What's going on? I'd arrive on sets knowing they mainly wanted me to appear pretty, hit my mark on that pink spot, and deliver the lines as written. But deep down, that didn't satisfy me creatively. I craved involvement in shaping the story, from scripting to wardrobe to building the character fully. Occasionally, directors, producers, or writers embraced my input once they realized what I could contribute. Other times, they deeply resented it, saying things like, "We cast you just to act." But in auditions and initial talks, I'd play it safe, presenting as the cooperative actor eager for the part, without admitting that true creative control is what fuels me. So for them, my later assertions probably felt like a sudden betrayal, imposing myself into areas beyond what they hired me for. It put me in this awkward spot where I didn't want to be merely the talent. I needed real influence. Those initial subtle suggestions rapidly escalated into bold demands. What was planned as a supporting role began morphing into something closer to co-star status, or even a direct competitor, leaving the writing staff and executives reportedly shocked. Blake, always celebrated for her self-assurance and appeal, had become an unstoppable presence unwilling to seek permission. In one key meeting, she supposedly showed up armed with her personal annotated script pages, marked up revisions, and full proposals. Not mere thoughts, but a complete reimagining that recast her from basic adversary to a complex, misunderstood challenger. Insiders say she advocated for an intricate character journey mirroring a Miranda Priestley-esque dominant figure, capped with a delayed redemption arc. It could have been compelling on its own, but it fundamentally conflicted with the series' core essence. Legally Blonde has endured through Elle Woods' fearless positivity, effervescent wit, and radiant self-belief, not brooding explorations of flawed anti-heroes. To the team, this drastic tone change wasn't merely surprising. It was alarming, sparking serious concerns about preserving Elle's vibrant world from turning gloomier, weightier, and far less vibrant. We don't have a script yet. Crazy to revisit and play that character again. How is she different today? I don't know. So much has evolved, yet some elements remain timeless. A light-hearted romp was suddenly at risk of becoming a grim, intense rivalry between complicated female figures, nothing fans anticipated, nor what Reese Witherspoon intended. Holding both the starring role as Elle and ultimate producer authority, Reese swiftly stepped in when Blake's inputs veered well past teamwork. Initially gracious, listening attentively, and allowing room for assumed helpful notes, Reese soon saw that Blake wasn't just adding value. She was trying to commandeer direction. This bred clear friction in the writer's space and mirrored troubling echoes from Blake's work on It Ends With Us. A production plagued by postponements, endless revisions, and reported offset conflicts allegedly stemming from director disputes, casting battles, and aesthetic choices that ignored the source material, resulting in an end product lacking strong backing. Those behaviors appeared to be repeating here, in a franchise far too cherished to endanger. Reese, the consummate pro, handled it discreetly but spotted the warning signs instantly, aware that audiences craved straightforward joy. Elle Woods in signature pink suits, wielding cleverness, charisma, and killer legal retorts, not some overwrought tale of antagonism. Blake's ideas weren't only intrusive, they endangered the fundamental spirit of Legally Blonde 3. As room dynamics soured, sessions dwindled, responses dried up, and communications turned evasive. Privately, the call was made to phase her out. No fanfare, no controversy, simply a decisive withdrawal from what was once hyped as a dazzling pairing. Reese held firm as captain, safeguarding Elle Woods' heritage with courtroom-level resolve. Blake proceeded elsewhere, adding to a trail of unresolved creative friction and another mark in an emerging list of ventures she nearly disrupted. The real puzzle wasn't her exit from Legally Blonde 3, but how many future opportunities might quietly pass her by. Her removal stayed unannounced publicly, but the changed vibe spoke volumes. Following murmurs of discontent, strained talks, and knowing glances, Reese's group set boundaries, ensuring Elle's comeback wouldn't be eclipsed by offset dominance battles. Once Blake departed, the mood transformed entirely. Creatives relaxed, and the screenplay, distorted by her overreach, regained its bright, lively flow. Extraneous additions and forced depths to rationalize a nuanced villain were pared down, centering Elle Woods precisely as intended. Reese moved swiftly yet subtly, rallying the group, reaffirming the original intent, and recalling why the series lasts. A breezy, clever, uplifting tone, incisive without heaviness, daring without aggression. A narrative that inspires rather than internal conflict. Her absence restored that magic, reviving the comedy and warmth fans adore. Yet the fallout extended beyond pages, as industry chatter inevitably spreads. Her reputation shifted, not solely from this, or it ends with us, but patterns like early Barbie talks ending abruptly, repeatedly entering pre-production, advocating for expanded parts and deeper input, often pre-contract. Viewed by some as drive, by others as disruption, the pattern grew undeniable. In a cautious post-pandemic era, executives hesitate to prioritize temperament over viability. Blake, formerly a reliable draw with versatility, emerged as a wild card. Her teamwork questioned, doubts rising on whether she could elevate a tale without overtaking it. Reese avoided direct commentary but offered indirect praise in later interviews for partners honoring the source, boosting the collective over self, and respecting proven formulas. Elegant yet unmistakable signals of defending not just one movie, but an empire. Elle Woods transcends a single role. She's legendary, and Reese refused to allow backstage clashes or dominance plays to dim her. Her guidance has Legally Blonde 3 solidly progressing, true to origins, with aligned performers and renewed drive. Blake, meanwhile, stepped away silently. No declarations, no rebuttals, story standing alone. No official note of Blake Lively's near participation surfaced, sparking fan speculation on alternate paths. What if she'd portrayed Elle's adversary? What if she'd prioritized teamwork over dominance? What if she'd allowed Elle to stay purely Elle? Ultimately, the series evaded a glitzy misstep, confining tension to fiction and preserving Elle's realm as Reese Witherspoon's intended uplifting vision. Those scenarios highlight the sequined hazard dodged by Reese's crew, maintaining off-screen calm, fidelity to foundations, and letting Legally Blonde 3 gleam as the fun, sharp, empowering escape devotees cherish. Industry observers noted Blake's recurring issues signaling risks for decision-makers wary of ego-fueled disruptions, underscoring ambition's dual nature in a field valuing harmony alongside talent. Blake Lively's brush with Legally Blonde 3 transcends a missed casting. It's a clear indicator potentially influencing her future prospects. Conversely, Reese Witherspoon's deft management has bolstered her standing as an astute producer and guide, one mastering narrative craft alongside handling egos, demands, and heritage. By redirecting without chaos or outrage, she reaffirmed her enduring success not only as performer, but legacy architect and cultural steward. As work proceeds, the takeaway rings clear. Elle Woods' comeback is inevitable, a safeguarded gift to long-awaiting supporters. Regardless of discarded backstage alternatives, there's solely one Elle Woods, one authentic arc, and one entrusted guardian to revive her, Reese Witherspoon. Blake's early nudges escalated to forceful demands. The envisioned minor role gradually edged toward co-lead or outright rival, stunning creators. Blake, revered for poise and magnetism, evolved into an unyielding presence bypassing approvals, seeking to helm and layer ethical ambiguity into a foundation of breezy, clever empowerment. Blake Lively, revered for poise and magnetism, evolved into an unyielding presence bypassing approvals. In a pivotal session, she reportedly presented personally revised script copies, dense with marks and overhauls. Not isolated thoughts, but a wholesale recasting elevating her from straightforward opponent to enigmatic agitator. Sources indicate she lobbied for a layered path evoking Miranda priestly dominance, ending in belated atonement. Daring and driven, it might intrigue standalone, but it grated against the franchise's bedrock. Legally Blonde prospers on Elle Woods' bold cheer, lively humor, and dazzling assurance, not dense morally ambiguous atonement sagas. To creators, this shift wasn't unforeseen. It was disruptive, immediately flagging risks to Elle's joyful domain morphing darker, burdensome, and markedly less playful. Writers shared wary looks, debating if the series' allure could endure such upheaval. Though Blake's concepts showcased drive and ingenuity, they imperiled the tonal equilibrium sustaining the saga over decades. Dynamics altered noticeably, brewing understated strains as her role threatened core transformation. Initial teamwork teetered toward concealed power struggles, jeopardizing Elle Woods' airy, astute, inspirational path.